This was captured near a forest in Brazil. But that is only the beginning. From dark figures appearing inside homes to strange creatures walking near empty roads. Today, you'll see 10 disturbing moments caught on security cameras that no one has been able to fully explain. Some look impossible, while others become even more disturbing once you learn the story behind them. I placed them in order, starting with the least frightening and ending with the most terrifying of all. So take this video as a challenge and try to reach number 1 without getting scared. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 10. As always, we're starting with the least terrifying video on the list, but there is still something strange here that I want you to see. This footage was allegedly captured by a security camera installed outside a rural home near Elkhorn, Wisconsin, an area surrounded by trees, isolated roads, and remote farms. The homeowners reportedly installed the camera after their dogs began barking toward the same part of the woods every night. At first, they assumed coyotes or another animal was searching for food near the property. But one night, the camera finally captured what had been disturbing them. Take another look. The poor quality of the night camera makes it impossible to identify the animal with certainty. Some viewers believe it could be a young bear photographed from an unusual angle, with the darkness and digital distortion changing the shape of its body. However, others connected the footage to an old local legend about a werewolf-like creature that has allegedly been spotted near rural roads in Wisconsin for years. Of course, the video alone proves nothing. So, do you think this was simply a wild animal or something more difficult to explain? Number 9. If the previous video didn't disturb you, this one probably will, because what this security camera recorded left an entire family searching for answers. Paul, a 47-year-old company director, was at work when he received a security notification informing him that something had been detected by the camera overlooking his garden. When he checked the recording, this is what he found. Now, here's where the story becomes even stranger. Paul and his wife, Amanda, claim this wasn't the first unexplained incident inside their home. They say they had previously heard what sounded like soldiers marching and children laughing during the night. On one occasion, they went downstairs to check on their children, only to find both of them fast asleep. Amanda also explained that her daughter had begun waking up at around 1 in the morning during the same period. The security footage was reportedly recorded sometime between 11 p.m. and 1:20 a.m., leading her to believe the incidents might be connected. Skeptics argue that the strange shape could simply be an insect close to the lens or an anomaly created by the camera. With footage this unclear, there's no way to confirm exactly what triggered the alert. But considering everything the family claims to have experienced, Amanda believes the camera might have captured something paranormal. What explanation makes the most sense to you? Number 8. This next case is a video that, to this day, no one has been able to explain. It was captured by a traffic camera near a road in Dallas, Texas. The person who shared the footage admitted that they had no idea what the camera had recorded. But once the video appeared online, viewers immediately began proposing very different explanations. Take a look. Some viewers believe the figures were simply large birds, possibly owls, distorted by the poor image quality and the unusual camera angle. However, Others argue that certain movements don't look natural for birds, especially when both figures suddenly move toward each other. A much stranger theory suggests they could be small goblin-like creatures from Latin American folklore. Of course, the recording is far too unclear to prove anything paranormal. So, were these just two birds walking near the car, or did this camera capture something far more unusual? Number 7. If nothing has seemed strange to you yet, wait until you see what was captured near a cattle pen in Surin on the night of September 29, 2021. A young man shared the security footage online after noticing something in the recording that he could not explain. Look closely. After reviewing the footage more carefully, the owner noticed two round, glowing objects that appeared to be floating in the darkness. Some viewers connected them to the Krasri, a supernatural creature from Southeast Asian folklore that is said to appear as a floating head with glowing organs hanging beneath it. However, the quality of the recording makes it impossible to determine exactly what the camera captured. So, do you think there is a normal explanation, or did something supernatural appear near the cattle enclosure? Number 6. The video you're about to see might not seem terrifying to everyone, but it shows something you probably won't expect. Just watch this. The footage was captured by a security camera in Pernambuco, Brazil, and appears to show Jeepers Creepers walking through a residential neighborhood, causing fear and confusion among the people living there. What made the case even more disturbing is that another camera reportedly captured an image of the same figure in a wooded area, appearing to carry something extremely unsettling in its arms. However, the case reportedly had a much more ordinary explanation. It was later revealed that it was actually a man wearing a costume, and authorities eventually arrested him. So although it wasn't a supernatural creature, seeing someone dressed like that walking outside your home at night would still be deeply disturbing. Number 5. Number 5 marks the point where the list stops feeling mild and starts becoming genuinely disturbing. The video was shared by a woman named Akina, who regularly records important moments in the life of her baby son, Panko. But early on January 29, 2024, at around 2:30 a.m., she suddenly woke up feeling that something was wrong inside her bedroom. Watch carefully. Akina claimed she saw a silhouette standing in the doorway that looked exactly like her husband. The problem was that he was still at work and wasn't supposed to return for several more hours. Even stranger, no figure can actually be seen in the recording. The sound of the home security system can also reportedly be heard activating, as though someone had entered the house. Believing her husband had arrived early, Akina went downstairs to look for him. But the lights were off, the front door was still locked, and no one else was there. Her unusual behavior when she returned to the bedroom was later explained as shock and anxiety as she tried to understand who or what she believed she had seen. The incident remains unexplained. So, was Akina simply disoriented after waking up, or was someone really standing in that doorway? Number 4. If the previous video seemed creepy, wait until you see what happens in this one. One morning, a woman woke up to a notification from the security camera in her young son's bedroom. The camera had detected movement during the night, even though she and her child were supposedly the only people inside the house. At first, she assumed that something had simply passed in front of the lens. But when she checked her recording, everything changed. The mother was unable to identify what had triggered the camera. Since no one else was supposed to be inside the house, the recording left her terrified and searching for an explanation. The darkness and limited image quality make it difficult to determine whether the shape was a real person, a shadow distorted by the camera, or some other visual anomaly. But whatever caused it appeared dangerously close to her sleeping child. So what do you think was hiding in that room? Number 3. Now we've reached the top 3, and I promise you this, at least one of these final videos will shock you. First, I want you to see this. This might not seem strange at first. A nun walking down the street carrying a suitcase might seem completely normal. But once you find out what she was carrying inside it, it will give you nightmares. Authorities later confirmed that the suitcase contained the remains of a 59-year-old woman named Erica, which had reportedly been kept hidden for months. The woman carrying them was identified as 80-year-old Lorenza. Investigators determined that Erica had not been murdered. According to the explanation given afterward, the two women had made a religious pact promising that they would remain together even after one of them died. Lorenza had apparently preserved the remains in an attempt to honor that promise before eventually removing them from the property. So, although the footage looked like something from a horror movie, the case was real, and its explanation was just as unsettling. Number 2. The video at number 2 is one I want you to explain, because to this day, no one seems to know exactly what happened. It was recorded by a security camera in Colombia on July 21, 2024. A man entered the house, but moments later, something completely unexpected happened. Watch this. According to the story surrounding the footage, the man was taken to the hospital and needed 24 stitches. What makes the case even stranger is the small orb-like shape that appears shortly before the incident. Some viewers believe it was somehow responsible for what happened, although the footage does not prove that the two events were connected. So, was the orb simply a coincidence, or did something inside that house actually attack him? Number 1. Now comes the most terrifying case on this list, and once you see it, you'll understand why it's number 1. The footage was allegedly recorded by a security camera inside an MRI room at a hospital. A patient had reportedly been brought in for an emergency scan, and everything initially appeared to be routine. But within seconds, the situation turned into a nightmare. Watch this. At first, many people assumed the MRI machine had somehow sucked the patient inside. However, despite how realistic it looks, everything seems to indicate that this video was created using artificial intelligence rather than recorded during a real hospital accident. If you look closely, the nurses' reactions seem unnatural. At one point, a metal chair also appears to slam across the room and pass directly in front of the camera in a way that makes the footage even more suspicious. But the danger this video imitates is real. MRI scanners do not work like vacuum cleaners, but their powerful magnets can violently attract incompatible metal objects brought into the room. If something like a piece of a stretcher, a tool, a small tank, or another metal object enter the room unnoticed, it could be pulled toward the center of the machine with tremendous force. That is what makes this footage so terrifying. The video may be artificial, but the type of accident it portrays can happen when MRI safety protocols are ignored. A single metal object in the wrong place can cause severe injuries within seconds. And with that, we've reached the end of the list. Now I want to hear from you. Do you agree with the order? Would you rank these cases differently? Leave your own ranking in the comments. And if even one of these videos disturbed you, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one. But before you go, if you want to keep watching more videos like these, check out this video.